We're going to do a private draft, just me against the viewers. It's a $5 draft. 12 people are going to be in it on Underdog Fantasy. Thank you guys for being here today. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notifications bell. We are drafting live on Twitch. I assume that I'm going to get mercilessly sniped the entire draft. This is not a tournament. This is sit and go. We're going to have a little fun with it. Leave a comment down below with which lineup you like the best, and let's go.
He's a legend.
All right, we filled it. I got 12 people from the Smiz gang about. Let's see where Paul and UNC gets the 1.01. The moderator, god damn it, moderator influencer. I got the 5 pick, Link Theory, C, Fichtenbaum, B Vassar, Draft Hustle, Penguin Perjures. He's got the Dachshund with the headband just like me. Do you have a different headband? Yeah, why is yours like a Karate Kid headband and mine is not? Mine is just like a sweatband. Yeah. Mod premium, mod perks. Mods get the 1.01 in community drafts. I think UNC's been in every single community draft that we've ever done. He's like, yep, I'm here, I'm in. $5 draft. This is a sit and go. So the week 17 correlation stuff, not as important. Value is a little bit more important in a draft like this. I do have uploaded the newest top 300 from establishtheRun.com. You can download these and upload them directly so that you have a little bit better draft list. They update them every single day. Go to smizzle.tv/ETR if you wanted to get your discounted subscription to Establish the Run. Jefferson, Chase, McCaffrey, Hill, you guys are boring. I mean, not really, but fine. I got time. I'm gonna go with Travis Kelce. You have the snapback headband. All right, shout out to Settlement. Boring or smart? I mean, the draft does kind of draft itself. It's the first round. Socrates with Eckler. First round, it's going kind of according to plan. This is just the way things move. I'm going to be interested to see how much this draft room is going to concentrate on stacking, being that it is just a total point sit and go 17-week tournament. Right? So like, you don't have to win one week. You just got to score the most points over the course of a season. And this is the important thing to think about when it comes to your drafts. When you're doing underdog drafts, when you're doing best ball drafts, you need to be able to separate between things that you should be doing in tournament best ball versus things that you should be doing in your friends and family league, or, you know, in a standalone sit and go league like this. So like Draft Hustle pings Amon-Ra St. Brown, and usually I'd be taking one of CeeDee Lamb or Tony Pollard on the way back here. In a best ball mania draft, he took Tony Pollard. In a best ball mania draft because of the very powerful week 17 correlation, should that team get there. So I don't know that that's necessary in a draft like this. So like, I take Travis Kelce in best ball mania, I'm probably taking Patrick Mahomes in the second round. But in a sit and go league like this, I don't think that I'm going to do that. Right? And this is not subterfuge. This is not me trying to convince chat that I'm not going to take a quarterback here. I just think that this should play more like a standard total points league. I'm going to be more value oriented in this draft, where stacking is still important in best ball, even in sit and go leagues, in 17 week point per, you know, total points type leagues. Value is way more important in a league like this. So you have to kind of figure out how you want to go about things. Barkley, Henry, Olave, Jalen Hurts on the board. Allen went there. Did he draft Diggs? He did. So people still falling into kind of the way that they've gone about their normal lives, their normal best ball lives. They're just living their best ball life at this point. I'm going to go with Olave. I think that he has an opportunity to really progress as a second year player. We've seen this a lot from wide receivers. That second year for a wide receiver is where they tend to take a really big jump, really big leap. Year 3 is the year where quarterbacks tend to take a big efficiency jump. Historically, doesn't always happen. Obviously, there are other things in play. Offensive line, strength of wide receivers, since wide receivers matter, and obviously offensive coordinator and the way that their team is going to attack. But year 3 is where we've seen the most common leap from quarterbacks. Not really year 2, but year 3 is where those quarterbacks do tend to take a little bit of a leap. And as I said, I'm not necessarily going to be drafting early on Calvin Ridley for UNC. UNC falls prey to the to the Twitter video Meta. Calvin Ridley looked laser fast. Like here's Zay Jones running a dig. Boom, boom. And then here's Ridley. Boom. He went after that hard. Jalen Hurts.
He's a legend.
Dan Solo, thank you very, very much for the 14 months.
He's a legend.
Zen Tiger, thank you for the 15 months. And if you guys that are watching on YouTube were interested in joining our community Discord, there are sub-only channels, the VIP section. If you become a community member, a channel member on YouTube, it's $5 a month. You get access to our private Discord as well. So like in the third round, yeah, I'm going to take Mahomes here, right? And if Mahomes was gone, I wouldn't have complained that like, oh, he got sniped. He got that. No, I think that that's solid value in a total points league. Barring injury, Mahomes should be the guy that has 4,500 to 5,000 yards passing, who has, I'm going to give it a wide range, let's say 32 to 45 passing touchdowns, right? But that 32 touchdown floor is so ridiculously high. And we know what the ceiling is. And considering that I think that, can we get an alpha out Olave photo here? This is disturbing. Somebody make this transparent in the art department at Underdog. Please. Let's pop this out. Easier to see that way. Zen Tiger said, thanks a ton for the draft strategy videos. I enjoy doing them. I know that I don't have a million of them out there. We're going to do more as draft month continues. I'll have the final one out about a week and a half before. I want to have the final one out before the weekend before NFL, because that's when everybody drafts. So like my final, I don't know the date on that either off the top of my head, but like whatever the final weekend is, you know, football starts that Thursday. The Thursday before the opening Thursday night football game will probably be my final draft strategy video. That one's usually my perfect draft, right? Going round by round. This is the guy that I want in the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. These are the guys that I think are the number one play. And then here's my backup play. That video has performed very well the last few years. Everybody seems to like that video. I enjoy doing that video. In the last couple years, it's done very well. Amari Cooper, Nick Chubb, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, Penguin looks like he is going after a Browns stack. If you believe in the Browns offense, the end of the first round is a great place that lines up for you very easily and well on ADP. You can grab Nick Chubb either at 11 or 14. You can get Amari Cooper around 35 or 38 in pretty much every draft. Then 8th, 9th round is where Deshaun Watson tends to be going. Christian Watson, speaking of the Watson family tree, is somebody who there's a lot of back and forth. Is he being drafted too high? Is he being drafted too low? A lot of people tend to think that this is a reach on Christian Watson, not by draft hustle, just the ADP. If you want to get him, you have to pick him there because he ain't making it back to you at 59. But is that price, is he going to be able to pay you off on that price, I guess is the question. With Love, with the fact that they may be a little bit more of a running team this year. I don't know. I don't have the answer, and I'm not going to pretend to either. I do think it's interesting. Scrooge McGoose, thank you very much for the 4 months with the tier 1. Who do we have here? Got Mahomes, I got Olave, I got him. Mike Williams, that was kind of who I was going to take there. You know, kind of feel like it's Hopkins in this spot. I feel it's got to be Hopkins in this spot. I could go younger with Terry McLaurin or Drake London, but I like the DeAndre Hopkins having, why is it not just picking him? Just pick him. The timer starts at 18. The timer's off. I kind of did like the fact that them signing him gives a little bit of a higher floor to Ryan Tannehill. You would think that they're not going to just turn it over. They're not just going to give the keys to the Cadillac. You know, they're going to let him sit for a full year unless he fully takes over Tannehill, or unless that team is 1-6 or something like that, where it's like, look, it no longer makes sense. Let's just get him on the field. Hopkins does seem to have a high floor, even though Tennessee has been the Hall of Fame wide receiver graveyard over the years. Think about all the guys who, at the end of their career, end up in Tennessee. I think I've made this statement before on a previous draft, where it's like the MLS for European soccer players is the Tennessee Titans to older wide receivers. Justin Fields going right there. Kenneth Walker made it back to me. I'll take that. My first running back there, what is it, round 5? I feel like I have enough here. I got to turn on some background music. I know that sometimes you guys don't like the background music, but I do. It gives me something in my earphones. I'm not just sitting here alone while we're doing these drafts. TJ Hawkinson, absolutely love TJ Hawkinson. in the 5th round. I think that you're going to get 3 guys who are going to separate at the position. Travis Kelce is tier 1, tier 2 being Mark Andrews and TJ Hawkinson, and then starts another tier. So if you're a tier-based drafter, the next tier is guys like Kittle, who's fighting way too many people, right? Kittle is fighting Ayuk. He's fighting the running back room with Christian McCaffrey. He's fighting Deebo Samuel. There's a lot of mouths to feed and only one football to feed all of them, where TJ Hawkinson is essentially just competing with JJ, and he's not having to compete with JJ, you know, where JJ's going to get his. He's going to get his 27 to 32% of the target market share, but Hawkinson's going to get greater than 15 and probably closer to 20%. And there's not many tight ends that can say that they're going to get a 20% market share. It's basically those 3. Addison looked good yesterday. He did. I agree. He's solid, and he's on the other side. But TJ Hawkinson last year, once acquired by Minnesota, look at his numbers on the run, and he averaged a ton of targets. Good looks inside the red zone targets and end zone targets as well. And his defense's role to go get JJ, TJ Hawkinson is going to just rack up a lot of easy targets. I think that Addison's going to operate a little deeper down the field, have a much higher upside on a week-to-week basis, while TJ Hawkinson is the solid floor play in there. Damian Pierce, Aaron Jones, Pittman, Evans. So Pittman's been falling, and you've been able to get him somewhere in here, 78 through like 90 in a lot of drafts recently. If I get Pittman to fall to me here in this 7th round, I'll take him and then nab the running quarterback, Richardson. Addison's looked good a lot this year, not just yesterday. He's looked good a lot. I hate that it doesn't just stay where it's supposed to stay when I go to another window. Like, I want it to stay there. Gabe Davis at 66. 6.6 is the 66 pick. There goes Addison, also ahead of ADP. He's been in like the 78 range. Somebody asked if I would draft both of those tight ends in the same line. No, I wouldn't. I'm not going to go 2 tight ends in the first 5 rounds. It would differentiate you for sure in like a tournament. Like, I would be more likely to do that in a tournament, rather not a lot of value here that I'd be interested in. And this clock is really messing. All right. I don't normally do this, but I'm going to go Cam Akers. I'm not a huge Cam Akers guy. I'm not a big Rams offense guy right now. I could be way wrong on that, right? Like, the Rams have a good enough coach. They have good pieces in good spots. They have Matthew Stafford. They have Cooper Kupp. Cam Akers is fine. He's going to get fed, and we know that they feed their starting running back a ton inside the 5-yard line. He looked a little bit more snappy late in the season last year, coming back off of that injury that he had to the Achilles, but I don't love it. Gotta say, I don't love it. What's the latest on Javonte? I try not to draft guys coming off of knee construction injury in that first year. It's why Breece Hall was on my do not draft list. It's why Javonte is somebody who I think I have like one draft where I went and got him. They're just not players that I want to go get, you know? So the Rams could prove me wrong. It's not like they haven't done that to people in drafts before. Remember that year, McVay's first year, obviously, where nobody wanted anything to do at all with the Rams. Like, at all. So many mouths to feed in that spot. I'm not taking another one of them. I'll take the value on ADP here. I'll take Quentin Johnson. I don't really love this pick. Not a huge fan of Quentin Johnson. Oh, no. Let me just say, I think he has a lot of paths to failure, right? I think that Quentin Johnson has a lot of paths to not paying off his ADP and to not paying off his draft price IRL. One, he's going to be at best 4th unless there's an injury in front of him. Now, in his favor, the Chargers medical staff has not been good historically, right? So if he is healthy and on the field, I think that he is better than somebody like Josh Palmer. So in the case that Allen goes out, yeah, Dr. Stabby, remember that? So in the case that Williams, who has missed time every year, in the case that Keenan Allen, who's missed time seemingly every year, one of those two goes down for 2 to 4 weeks, all of a sudden Quentin Johnson steps into a larger role here. I do need to start getting more wide receivers in this range. This draft going not really like a lot of the BBM drafts have gone, which is what I wanted out of this draft, right? I don't want just a standard draft look. So this is going to be different, and I want it to look different because I want you to take a look. Like Jackson JSN going in the 5th round here is different. I like the start. I also like that not when I have Kelce and Mahomes, typically I'm going to be looking to rack up a lot of Bengals throughout the draft, right? I'm going to try and get, if I was going for this in a BBM draft, it would have been Kelce, Then I would have taken Higgins and then hoped that Mahomes made it back to me here. There's different ways you can go. Deshaun Watson, Elijah Moore, ping. That goes along with Nick Chubb and Amari Cooper. If the Browns are a top 3 or 4 offense, Penguin is going to dog walk this league very possibly. Very possibly. It's never a bad idea. Look, even in best ball total points season long, which is what this one is, it's not a tournament, you can make a bet on one team. And that gives you the possibility that if that offense, if you're right, and in best ball you should be drafting as though you're right, that gives you all of the upside attached to that team if and when things go according to the way that you thought they were going to go. Swift, Kamara, Pacheco, top 3 here. A lot of question, specifically from Justin Herzig, if Evan Ingram is worth it as the 95th pick. He thinks that there's a lot of value at tight end below that. I think it's up for discussion. Of course, Socrates sniped me for Sky Moore. I knew you were going to do it. I knew that was coming. Love Rashad Bateman and what his effect has been last year before the injury on this offense in Baltimore. I think he's really, really solid. I think that he is an impact wide receiver. Kevin89 says, I don't know if you heard, but Cortland Sutton's in the best shape of his life. We never hear that in preseason. I want somebody to say, you know what? I didn't do a damn thing this offseason. I'm not in really good shape right now. And I'm going to have to use training camp to get my butt back into shape. I'm waiting for that guy. Can that guy show up? Like, look, I'm mentally prepared, but my body is not feeling too good right now. I'm going to have to do some burpees. Can we get that guy? Kadarius Toney. I knew the sniping was coming. The sniping's always coming in these drafts. When I draft against, isn't that Zion Williamson every year? That's the topic for a whole other video. Vinny the Vinster, thank you for the 100 biddies. Might be too early to know, but is CMC out week 1? Unknown currently. He may be. There's still like 4 weeks. I don't love anybody that's on the board right now. I really don't. Can I pass? Do I have to pick somebody? You can't make me draft somebody here, can you? I don't want anything here. I pass. God, there's nothing. Fine. I'm going to take Daniel Jones. I hated everything. I didn't like anything that was on the board. I think Jones has the most upside of this next batch of QBs, right? Sorry, of this next batch of QBs. I think Cousins is fine. I think Prescott's fine. Dak might have a big year because of a specific contract situation that they have going on right now. If you want to bet on the contract year narrative, I know he's got 2 years left on his contract, but they're not allowed to tag him. Not allowed to tag him at all. Aaron Rodgers, I think, is going to be fine. He's going to be efficient, right? He's going to be him, is essentially what he's going to be. Geno Smith, second year. And they added, I think Seattle's offense could be very good. Kind of a slept on offense for fantasy. Like, you don't see very many people trying to build Seattle doubles with Geno. And I think that it's an extremely viable route to go. Did I see Rodgers and Sauce's handshake? No, I did not. Penguin, he did have, who did Penguin have? He got CeeDee Lamb early. So he's got the Deshaun Watson, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Cooper, Nick Chubb. Richardson went here at 86. He's typically been around like at 100 to 110. So a lot of reaches in this one to get the guys they want. I love Richardson as he's his QB1 for Draft Hustle. He's got Geno Smith. I think Geno Smith actually is QB1 with Richardson as the upside QB2. But Richardson is somebody who could finish the year as a top 5 QB on the season just because rushing is so valuable when it comes to fantasy. That's just the way that it goes. Tyler Boyd. Evan Ingram fell in this draft to 104, probably because of the influence of me saying that there's question of whether he's can support a 90, 90-ish ADP that Herzig has made that argument. Go look up Herzig on Twitter if you want to see his full argument as for why. Michael Gallup, Odell Beckham Jr. Now we're getting to the point where I'm going to take, now I like these guys. I'm going to take Devon A-Chain. I like the kid. 2 week 10s for me. I do like A-Chain. I do. I think the big playability in that offense with that coach and not having anybody to focus on, so to speak, right? So there's no lead back on that team that needs to get 20 plus opportunities. What I'm looking for out of A-Chain in this spot is about 13 to 16 touches per game, 9-10 carries, the rest in targets. If they can feed him that, right? 10 carries, 5 targets a game. And that may be too much. I may be being too optimistic there. the coin flip was with him or P Ryan. I think that A Chain is more upside than P Ryan. I think P Ryan might have a similar floor without the super big playability. Tank Bigsby flying. We included him in our like the last video I did. Picks plus 100 ADP plus. His ADP was around 144 and he is flying up draft boards right now. We are not going to be able to get him. I don't think he's as good a play in 2023 as Ramondre Stevenson was in 2022, but Ramondre was hovering around that 120 to 130 pick for a long time until August came along and he moved all the way up to like pick 90, pick 80. We're in a similar place right now when it comes to Tank Bigsby, where he's flying up draft boards. He's not going to get as high as Damian Pierce did last year. Pierce went from like the 150s and then he played in a preseason game and people were like, oh, like, well, Marlon Mack's going to be the starter. And Marlon Mack came out and it's like, oh yeah, Marlon Mack ain't going to be the starter. I get it now. It's going to be this kid. And then he ended up in like 45, 50 by the end of the draft. Like Pierce shot up like 100 on ADP in the course of 3 weeks. I don't think that's going to happen because Travis Etienne's going to get the lion's share, but I think that he's going to get dug into by Tank, and Tank is probably going to be that 40% guy, getting 40% of the running back snaps and touches. And in the case of an injury, Marvin Mims flying up boards as well. He's been going in the 150s. This draft room seems to have watched my videos, and they are attacking the guys. Jerick McKinnon at 129, like Jerick McKinnon. I went Damian Harris over McKinnon there. I'm going for touchdown upside. Touchdown, big play pass game, touchdown. Just going for the week-to-week touchdown upside with the running backs that I'm taking. I can hang my hat on Kenneth Walker. I believe I can hang my hat on Cam Akers, that he's going to get 20 opportunities every single week. And the way that the Rams have historically run their short yardage packages, they love running the football once they get inside the 5. So any touchdown opportunities when they get inside the 5 are going to go to Cam Akers because the two kids behind them are not pounders, so to speak. Bring up the draft board. It's easier for you guys to follow on stream. Jacobian Myers got me 2.1 million. Van Jefferson, Rondale Moore, Greg Dulcich, the Dulcich tones of Greg. Tyler Higbee, little ahead. The theme of this draft seems to be a little ahead of ADP. Everybody is going a little ahead of ADP. Higbee was like 145 to 148. Last check, Marvin Mims in the 140s, I believe. We're about 140. Deontay Foreman, Romeo Dobbs, the Dobbs, Chark, Valdez Scantling. I'm gonna go Mingo, Mingo. So when it comes to Mingo, I'm looking at everybody else who's in that wide receiver room in Carolina, and I'm not seeing much. I'm really not. I know that Chark is there. I know that they've got, Redacted. I know that they've got Terrace Marshall. They've got guys, but they're just guys. And Jonathan Mingo, the rookie, we don't know if he's just a guy yet. He could be a boat. The Thielen, a bunch of guys who are not boats. We know that Thielen's not a boat. DJ Chark is a downfield wide receiver who can't get separation downfield, so he's a one-trick pony who's bad at that trick. Jonathan Mingo could be a boat. I'm drafting him on boat upside. That's it. That's the thesis behind Mingo right now, is that we know everybody else on that offense in the wide receiver room is not a boat. So I'm going to go with boat upside. Boat possibilities for him right there. I'm going to here. I'm going to take another boat possibility. I'm going to take him ahead of ADP. It's going to be right here with Jaden Reed. Betting on boats. Too many rookie wide receivers for me in this draft. I should have. People are saying that there's that wide receiver cliff. And there is, because people have shot wide receivers up the board. Good pick with Everett here. I was thinking about swapping off Reed to get to Everett in that spot with as much as more targets, his tight ends, and his offense. I think that Herbert's going to have a fantastic year. Building out Chargers stacks, if you are willing to give up the draft equity early and draft one of them ahead of ADP, because you're going to have to draft one of Keenan Allen or Mike Williams around early. In drafts where you get Eckler, I thought about doing it in this draft, but I was like, I'm not going to do it. Where you go Eckler in 1, and you're going to have to spend your 2 or your 3 on one of those wide receivers, usually your 3, and then the 4 on Williams, and hope that you get Herbert to fall to you in 5. Vinny the Vinster says, damn it, Alvin, I was going to go for Reed. I like Reed. I do. I think that Watson is entrenched as the one guy. I think that Reed can establish himself on the other. With Dobbs not having a great rookie year last year and a much higher draft price, better prospect from a prospecting situation if you want to look at things for pre-draft rankings and things like that, where they spent more draft equity on him. He is a higher prospect than him. Jaden Reed could win in that offense. The question is how many targets are going to be around to go around. I don't think that they're going to run it as much as like Chicago did last year or as much as Atlanta did last year. I think that there are going to be more targets with Jordan Love going into his 17th year in the league. It's glad that he's finally getting a shot as a 17-year vet. It's been forever. It's been 84 years. Matthew Stafford at 161. DPJ, the rookie Laporta, Chig Okonkwo, last 4 picks. Rashid Shaheed. So if I don't take these guys wide receivers early because of the cliff, because everybody likes to go tons of wide receivers and then 0 running back, that is all the rage. Hero or 0 running back. Irv Smith at 162. I like if Irv can stay healthy. He's going to smash. I'm going to go with the perfect best ball pick, and that's going to be Taysom Hill. Right around ADP of 162. I got him at 164. You never know when Taysom Hill's going to go off, right? You never know when they're just going to use the Taysom Hill package in any game in New Orleans. But when they use it and he has like 2 touchdowns and 60 yards rushing, it's nice to have that at tight end. He has as much or more upside on a week-to-week, spike week basis as any tight end in this range. Irv Smith is going to contribute more weeks than Taysom Hill. He's going to have weeks where he's going to get into your lineup. As long as he's healthy, we've seen it happen with Double H Hurst. We've seen it happen with CJ Uzoma a couple of years ago. The Bengals offense does utilize the tight end a lot, and Irv Smith does have a ton of talent. Jalen Hyatt might be the fastest player in pads in the history of football. I know there's going to be a reply. What do you mean? Tank Dell gonna fly up leaderboards, right? He's gonna fly up on ADP just on last night's preseason performance. There were Twitter videos, like little video clips on Twitter. He had what do you have, 14 points in preseason, in a preseason game. He's carrying folks right now in an island preseason situation. It's not like there were 10 games and you didn't notice it. It was 1 game, so everybody watched it. I did see like a funny tweet about it. The tweet wasn't trying to be funny. I just found it funny in the way that it was presented. The tweet was presented week 14 by week. Yeah, I'll take, give me the floor. Give me the Curtis Samuel floor. Wait, have I sniped you a bunch, Vinny? Is that what you're saying? Lil Vin Sanity. Kyler, he doesn't come back before Call of Duty. That's a dangerous pick. It's a dangerous pick. As a Texans fan, I'm excited to see him hopefully be that guy for us. We don't have anyone who stands out. Yeah, I get that. See, Victim Bomb has sniped you 3 times. Those are the worst drafts. When you get sniped from both sides, you're like, my guy is never going to fall to me, ever. Ezekiel Elliott, Jerome Ford looks like he's going to possibly step into a larger role than people assume. I love him on DraftKings as an RB4, 5, or 6. See, Victim Bomb says, my bad. No, don't apologize. No apologies here. No. If he got sniped, wrong channel. If he got sniped, that's his own fault. He should have picked him the round before. Surprised Michi didn't get a bit more last night. Yeah, cheering for him. Certainly rooting for him. It's tough out here in these best ball streets. It certainly is, man. Zamir White, do we have a Le'Veon Bell, James Conner situation about to happen? Scotty missed an ace by 3 inches. Oof. So we're doing this draft on the 11th of August. And what is it? The BMW, the FedEx Championship. It's the first week. So there's a lot of, like, we have a strong daily fantasy golf contingent in the Smiz gang, myself included. I got back into it this year. But getting back to this Tank Dell thing. So we're all like sweating golf right now while we're doing this draft. Tank Dell, there was like some videos on Twitter. Wow, I can't believe that Tank Dell keeps getting open. And like the clip they used was like him against zone. Like, yeah, he found us an open spot in the zone. It wasn't like he shook someone. And like, yeah, like we're running a zone buster play. They're going to be here, in 2 deep. Find the soft spot, cycle in behind the running back, and we're going to fire it to you. I'm going to take another floor guy. Looks like I'm going to take another floor dude here. I like the way that this team is shaping up. I do like the way that this team is shaping up. I needed these every week, guys. Curtis Samuel, Hunter Renfrow are going to have more usable weeks for me than people want to imagine. They don't really have a lot of upside. My upside is Jaden Reed, Mingo, Johnson, Bateman, Olave. I've got the upside, guys. You also have to have usable players. You also need to have usable players. And I have the upside of Daniel Jones. on the weeks where Patrick Mahomes does not have 24 DraftKings points. I have plenty of upside at tight end. I have floor at tight end with Travis Kelce and his 25% market share. I have the upside of Taysom Hill spike weeks that could fill in at flex and on his bye week. Jay Steele, thank you for the 36 months. That divides by 12, chat. Y'all know what to do. Stupid job making me miss streams. You missed. We're drafting against viewers. You asked for these viewer things. I'm fine drafting floor at wide receiver when I have enough upside at wide receiver. I don't think I need a third tight end with this team. I do need to ping some running backs late. I do need to possibly get another wide receiver. I have 8. I feel like I need to get 6 running backs. I need to finish this with 6 running backs. He says, oh my God, of course I missed it. Hayden Hurst Helmsley. Musgrave, going to be on the field a lot. He's going to be on the field a metric ton. I don't love any of these running backs, to be quite honest, to be brutally honest with you. There's nobody here in this spot that I really want to go get. I could get Bobby Trees. I know the timer's running out, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to take Kareem Hunt, see if he ends up somewhere. Got slaughtered on DK, preseason games? Preseason's shifty, man. Preseason is some shifty stuff. So guys that I'm looking, I never put players in queue, but players, especially because I'm going to get sniped if I do it. Specifically if I'm drafting against my own stream. Watch these 3 guys go fast. These would be the guys that I've been targeting most late in drafts. If you want to ping him as well, fine. I've been going Kyron Williams over Zach Evans for nothing more than, there's no reason why I've been doing it other than narrative. Okay. So the narrative there is that historically the Rams draft running backs. They do, right? They drafted Akers. They drafted Henderson. They drafted this guy. They drafted Kyron. They drafted Zach. They drafted all these dudes. They never use them as rookies. So everybody's been picking Evans ahead of him and ahead of Kyron. And Kyron was the guy who got hurt week 1. And in week 1, Shefty last year was saying that he was the guy. Kyron was the guy that he wanted as a super deep sleeper because the Rams loved him and wanted to get him on the field. They did that later in the season once they had all the injuries and they were punting off the rest of the year. I kind of feel like this second year, he's going to be maybe a 30% guy to Cam Akers. Show the whole team. I will in just a minute. We got the whole draft right here. Mac Jones, easy 18th round click. Mike Gesicki, my final pick. I got my choice here. Pierre Strong, I like more on DraftKings. Dwayne McBride is the upside guy that I like on Underdog because of the scoring system. Pierre Strong, I think, could get some more targets and be more valuable on a some week basis as an 18th to 20th round pick. Deuce Vaughn, yeah, he's fine. He is also fine. I don't know why I didn't click him. I don't know if he was there or if somebody already drafted him, but he's also in that grouping. The Cowboys they're not going to run Tony Pollard out there for 30 touches a game. So there's a good possibility that Deuce Vaughn is going to get, 8 to 12 touches a game. Here's my entire team: Patrick Mahomes, Daniel Jones, Kenneth Walker, Cam Akers, Devon A-Chain, Damian Harris, Hunt, and McBride as lottery tickets at the end. Olave, Hopkins, QJ, Quentin Johnson, Rashad Bateman, who I think is criminally low at his current ADP, Mingo, who might be a boat, Jaden Reed, who might be a boat, Curtis Samuel and Renfro for safety, Travis Kelce in the first round with Taysom Hill for splash weeks. Taking a look at what everybody else did, here's the rest of the draft. Let me know in the replies which draft you thought was best. Rank them. Give me your 1, 2, and 3 teams based on all of the teams that you see on this screen. And thank you guys for watching. Look out for another video right. You guys are slacking, chat. You gotta pick it up. Shake your tail when you walk. You're better than that. Who knows what movie that's from? I say it all the time, and I don't think that you guys really understand what movie that's from. Feels like a Vince Vaughn quote. It is a Vince Vaughn quote. I don't know if Half Dollar knows what it is. Old school, correct. Did you just pull that out of your butt? Did you not know what it was? And you're like, I don't know, kind of sounds like Vince Vaughn. Yeah, no, it's totally Vince Vaughn from Old School. They were sitting at the pool and they were doing the kids party for homie's kids, and Sanchez, I think was the kid's name in the movie, and he was wearing the dinosaur costume, and he was just kind of walking around. He's like, come on, Sanchez, you got to shake your tail when you walk. You're better than that. He started shaking his little dinosaur tail. Spanish.
He's a legend.